Good evening. The truth will set you free, but first it's going to piss you the fuck off. When you're dealing with people lying to you, or if you are caught lying, it's a complex web of emotions on both sides. Lying in general is a very bad habit. It becomes very addictive. It does. Now, the truth that anybody has to divulge will relieve a lot of stress in general. It will relieve the stress and anxiety of holding onto the truth and not admitting to it. It will also relieve the body symptoms of those stressors, anxieties, which also end up becoming depressions as well. And those depression behaviors start manifesting in your outward demeanor. This goes back to what I've been saying this whole time about being real with yourself and the fear of judgment or accusing people of being judgmental towards you. Being accused of being judgmental to someone is a first clue of knowing that they have something to hide. They don't want the truth to come out. They're embarrassed. They want people to stick to their narrative. And that's that. There's a lot to be said about people that lie to protect themselves, but people that lie to get ahead, to achieve something, or to get away with something, period. One of the major ones for relationship stuff is lying profusely, absolutely denying being married to somebody, and getting into an argument, and that person being proven wrong about their narrative and proven to be married. To me, that is a clue that that person is not happy, but they pretend to be within that relationship. That can lead that person that's not happy and hiding it into cheating. It can. Because that person will end up seeking the attention, regardless of what type of attention it is, whether it be emotional or physical. Or it can just be the third party dynamic, seeking that desired attention from somewhere else. Okay? Lying and profusely trying to stick to the narrative. It unravels eventually. Okay? Lying about the current marriage or previous marriages, or even previous connections to anybody. The amount of people you've slept with, or whatever. It could be something weird, just not something that anybody normal would think about. Okay. For me, that's hard to wrap my head around. Why would you deny such a thing, right? Especially if kids are involved, they got adopted, and you're profusely denying that there's nothing going on. That's a sign and symptom. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that so many fucking times. But that in itself, again, the lying, the covering up, the mask. For people like that are still sticking to that behavior, you'll never get a straight answer. You'll never get, them to divulge it. They just get it thrown in their face and they're just silent about it. And they just, okay, fine, you found out about it, okay. That's some cold-hearted shit. It is. I thoroughly understand a couple of guys that I've been in contact with. I told them a little bit about my story. And it's strange how similar some of our experiences have been. And honestly, I think it really has to do with the brainwashing, TV, movies, music. It's the only common denominator for women to be saying all the same key words and phrases and sentences, defending all the same behaviors, as if it's cute or okay or normal or some shit. This whole instance of that denial stuff is of a connection, relationship, marriage. I gotta find that story I read years and years ago, as to why mature men are put in charge. Okay? And it has a lot to do with the very first story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were told not to touch the tree of knowledge. Okay? Eve was manipulated by a demon or the devil, whatever we want to call it. A foreign entity enticing her. So with that first clue right there, bad influences tend to sway the judgment of women, regardless if they've had traumas or not. I've seen women that have never had any trauma, nothing bad ever happened to them their entire life. They grew up normal, the parents were always together, healthy relationships, blah, blah. And it happens. You just kind of you just gotta go with it, I guess. It's hard to even know what goes through a woman's mind. I know and understand that all women are highly sexual, more so than men. Okay? And certain types of smells and visual cues really entice women. Also, here in the last couple of years, I've noticed my voice is pleasant to a woman's ears. Go figure. I never really thought about that. But it was a woman I tried to go on a date with, but she flaked out. So I said, fuck it. In the Bible, I gotta find that that story. In the Bible, Eve ate from the tree of knowledge and then enticed her husband, her mate, Adam. Okay? And this is a repeat thing that happens throughout history. Chat going overhead. These are actually heavy lifters. Not so much as fire. I haven't seen but like 2 fighter jets the whole time. It's just the big boys moving shit. Anyway, a repeat in history over and over again from the very beginning of time. Biblical time, I should say, just biblical, because there is a shit ton of time before biblical time. Okay? But through biblical recording, the same infidelity and lack of loyalty and faithfulness, the honesty and integrity, the honor and respect, and the courage and commitment go out the window with a woman much easier than a man does. It's strange. It is. It is fucking strange. And typically it's harder to get women to admit the truth. Especially about being a player or being married and denying it. I had to throw that one in her face. Like, here. You ain't denying that. And the 2 guys that I stay in contact with, same kind of issues. One guy was being lied to, and she denied even having a fucking baby, and that's why she disappeared for a year. And supposedly he said that she went to the gym and all kinds of shit to fucking make herself to get back to where she was. But he had sex with her prior, and enough time went by and they didn't have a kid, but she had gotten pregnant during their relationship with some other guy's baby, and she knew it. And the DNA test, I guess, came back that it was his kid. So this dude I'm talking to noticed the stretch marks and the ovules. I can't even say it right, but a girl's breast will change. You can tell the difference between a woman that's never had a baby and a woman that has. The color of their breasts change colors. Anyway, it's kind of awkward for me to talk about. So anyway, he noticed all the key signs, okay? And she denied it. I just don't get that part. Why would you just deny it? Anyway, and this other guy, he had the same issue with me as me. But she denied being in a relationship, denied getting married to the guy. And then she came back around. In his case, she literally full blown tried to come back in for a relationship. In my case, I was just ghosted, and I would get sporadic text messages saying soon, near future. Yeah, that should never happen. Yeah, I had to find out the hard way. The kid got the whole family package, adopted the kids and all this bullshit. And before I threw it in her face that she was married, she was still trying to talk to me about, like, soon, near future. I'm like real fucking soon. It's just fucking funny. It's funny now, but it was stressful when it happened. And there's plenty more stories out there from different guys in different kind of scenarios too. Like, one guy got with a woman, got married to her, and she got pregnant right before the wedding. And this dude hadn't had sex with her yet. So later down in the marriage, she gave birth early. And he was a smart cookie. He figured that shit out. Hey, my baby. My dogs are being crazy. The contact's getting bad. So yeah, there's all kinds of different scenarios out there, guys. And some of them will break your heart. That woman did that to me. And you can just push through it and be fine. There's plenty of people out there. I've been getting plenty of attention. So just carry on with your life. Find somebody new. But as far as the truth will set you free, the people that lie about all this shit and stress the rest of us out, damn, fucking contact. I usually have a fan in here. Air's getting stagnant. It's hot. So, anyway, eventually the people that are lying and stressing all of us out emotionally, that karma eventually comes back on them somehow, some way. Okay? It eats away at them emotionally, mentally, and your emotional state affects your body. Okay? Stress and anxiety leads to premature aging, loss of hair, loss of eyesight and hearing, just overall ages you. And it's stressful in itself and causes more. Especially if you just hit 40 and you've got all this stress, anxiety, you get a mortgage late in the game. Like, if you just turn 40, you just got a mortgage and you don't have all that kind of big money anymore. You just got a regular job. That'll stress the fuck out of you. I'm using these as an example because I think if you got a mortgage starting at 40 now, it's kind of a bad idea. You're locked into your fucking, 50, 60 years old. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done with that shit. But to each their own, man. If you want to get a mortgage this late in the game, you got fucking funds and fucking income, whatever. But I'm done with the world. I ain't fucking intentionally put my ass in debt. Anyway, kind of scrolled on that one. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get all these stupid little things adding up. It will significantly impact your health. And it'll impact your decision making, your overall choices in life, even your maturity level. I've seen some folks somewhere between 10 and 15 years behind on their maturity level and their mentality, and yet they're my age. And they're hanging out with fucking people that are fucking 30 and 25 and shit. That's just, like, that's fucking clue number one. Maybe I shouldn't be fucking with people like that. It's weird, though. I keep attracting those kind of people. Weird. Anyway. all this stuff will add up in that person. And eventually, the truth does get popped into the reality, or it's forced upon them in some way. Whether it be a conversation or publicly, or through the grapevine, one friend after the other finding out, blah, 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 blah. And that causes embarrassment and disownment and overall loss of friends, family, and jobs, and social standards, and blah, blah. It's just one thing after another. It's what happens when your house of cards that you built with lies that you stacked up start getting plucked. Eventually the whole fucking thing is going to come crashing down. Yeah. So if you're embarrassed about a relationship if you're embarrassed about a relationship dynamic, why stay in it? And why continue to lead somebody on to near future, if that's never actually going to happen? Okay, that's putting somebody in a third person we call it I lost it. Third person dynamic, I guess. Anyway, it's not emotionally intelligent to, one, deny that you're involved or married. It's not healthy to lie about the whole marriage dynamic and kids getting adopted until it's thrown in your face. And it's not healthy for you or the person you're victimizing. It sucks. The truth has to come out eventually. Okay? And going through the effort to lie about it and keep it a secret in general from people outside that box of people in that world, in that space, in that location, is strange behavior. Why stay in a relationship dynamic that you deny and still seek attention elsewhere soon, near future? That means you are not satisfied with something, that you're lacking in something, that you made, or you realize you made a bad choice, whether it be emotionally, financially, or who knows what. You know what I'm saying? Everything I'm saying here is an example. Just spin it to what's going on in your own life and see if it matches up, if it's the same kind of dynamics that have happened to you. Okay. The truth will set you free also means that it will literally alleviate the stress on both sides for that one aspect of things, okay? But it's not going to fix everything. The hurt has already destroyed a lot. Lies destroy the mind in a way that I was just talking about in an earlier video, where you don't really understand where you stand, while at the same time you don't know what the reality is. And it really fucks with somebody's head. That's a narcissistic behavior, to fuck with somebody's head and to twist things up and to lead them astray. That's emotional and mental abuse. And nobody should stand by and allow it to happen. Once you start catching on that shit, you just gotta fucking get away from the people. Because it's just kind of worse. And again, for anybody that's lied about their marriage and so on, just be done with it. Quit putting the front up with some people and then half-ass admitting you made a bad choice to other people or to a person. Why even bother saying, I'm sorry about my choice, blah, blah, blah. But, tell the other face of people, oh, we're fine. We're happy. We're good. That's borderline bipolar. What's up, puppies? You hunting? You getting those kitties? Where's that cat? Where's that kitty cat? I love you. Well, I guess I'm going to have to get off here. I hope you all get it. I hope you all understand it. And good night.